We're live. You can start.
Good afternoon. The time now is 6:11. Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Ms. McNeil,
Here.
Ms. Colon,
Here.
Mr. Morset,
Here.
Ms. Brown.
Here.
We have quorum.
Can we have a motion to entertain the minutes? Is there a second motion?
I'll second.
Who made the motion? I'm sorry.
Okay,
No,
let's start
she
again.
She asked
yeah.
she's entertaining a motion. We need a first.
Okay, I will make the motion.
Okay, so Ms. Colon made the motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Morset made the second. So, Ms. Colon,
Yes.
Mr. Morset,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Here.
Ms. McNeil. Yes. Okay, motion passes 4-0. The next section that you have is having to do with additions, deletions, withdrawals, and continuances. I do have an item to add to the agenda. It is the last, we'll put that as the very last item because we need to discuss the new meeting, when that's gonna take place, and also a discussion on if we're gonna have meetings on, we're gonna maintain them on the Thursday, or we're gonna be able to change them because we do have an issue with the, with staff. So we'll discuss that afterwards, but we're gonna add that to the end. Okay?
Right.
For item number 7.1, entertain a motion to approve.
Well, not at the moment. First, they're gonna have the presentation. I'm sorry, we do have to open it up.
Okay.
For Miguel to start. Miguel, do we need public comment for this, for the ordinances? Do you mind if we still do it?
No, I don't mind.
Okay, so we're gonna follow this process. For each one of the items, our building official will come up and he'll be talking to you, explain to you what the ordinance is. When he's done, you're gonna open up for public comment. If there is no public comment, then you're gonna close for public comment. And then at that point, you're gonna go ahead and entertain a motion. You got it?
Got it.
Okay. Go ahead, sir, sorry. 7.1.
7.1. Good evening. My name is Miguel Nunez. I'm the building official of the town of Pembroke, chair, vice chair, members.
Wait.
You don't have a microphone.
But I speak very loud, so
Yes.
I know.
Heard you.
Go for the magic one.
It's the magic mic.
I don't need a mic. I'm not, no, I like it. I'm hyper. I like to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
podium.
I'm hyper. I like to be moving, you know?
You could take it off there.
Yeah, if I sit, I'm gonna start sleeping, and you don't want to hear me snoring.
We'll keep you awake.
You up.
Hello.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Chair, vice chair, members, my name is Miguel Nunez. I'm the building official of the town of Pembroke. First, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here. Before I enter to 7.1, I would like to explain why the reasons that we're here with the four items that we have in here. The town Code of Ordinances require that when we have an ordinance that will affect a zoning issue, or it needs to be brought into the planning and zoning for approval before we send it to the commission body for voting. And that's what we're doing here. There is certain items that we believe is appropriate for the benefit and the safety and cleanliness of the town, which I'm going to start with 7.1. Is the ordinance amending section 28-279 of the code. This was an initiative by the town attorney and Anderson and myself and other members of the staff. This is ordinance number 2022-010. It's an ordinance of the town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending section 28279, titled Responsibilities for Connection to Town System, within chapter 28, zoning, and moving to section 2, chapter 26, utilities, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinances, superseding conflicting ordinances and resolutions, and providing an effective date. However, what does that mean? Within the Code of Ordinances, we observe that there's areas that are in the zoning code that actually don't belong there. That section for the connection to the town system for certain mobile home parks and so on like that, they don't belong to the zoning code. They belong actually in the utilities part. But because we are moving it from the zoning section, we need to come to you so the commission is approved for information only and to make sure that you have your approval, of course. And that is what we are here on this particular ordinance. We're just basically cleaning our Code of Ordinances, among other things.
I thought it was a lot of words in the documents about sewage and all. I was a little bit surprised because I thought that all mobile homes were connected to public sewage system. So
yes,
I
and
was
they
like,
are, and
yeah.
they are, but this is more, has to do with the responsibility for the connection and the responsibility for the maintenance and the responsibility for the cleanliness of those systems. Those responsibilities belongs to right now to the town when technically it's supposed to be by the mobile homeowners, park owners, not the owners.
Well, then we're going back to the old fight between Howard Clark and some of the park owners
And
that sold the sewer lines to the city, right?
that will be a different issue that might be handled by the town attorney. This is just to put it out of zoning code directly where it belongs. Right now, we're not changing anything. We're just changing directly into where it's supposed to be because this has nothing to do with zoning. Maintenance of any park or any building or anything has nothing to do with the zoning code.
I understand that.
And that's the reason why we're here before it takes it to the commission.
Right.
So we have now opened the floor for any public comments.
Say something.
Okay, so we have now closed the floor for any public comments. Do we have a motion to approve?
I motion to approve.
I second.
I third.
Motion approved.
Motion made by Mr. Morset, seconded by Ms. McNeil. Mr. Morset,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. McNeil,
Aye.
Ms. Colon.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Item 7.2.
7.2, Miguel Nunez, building official, Town of Pembroke Park, share by share members. This is a proposed dumpster enclosure requirement. Ordinance number 2022-014 is an ordinance of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Article 3, dumpsters within Chapter 11, garbage and refuse of the town's Code of Ordinance to require dumpster enclosures within the town, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinance, superseding conflicting ordinances and resolutions, and providing an effective date. What does that mean? We are proposing right now to accept this ordinance to require all commercial and multi-residential buildings to have a dumpster enclosure, and to avoid the garbage bins to be placed in the wrong locations outside of their control while maintaining a level of vermin and garbage isolation to spill to the town-owned infrastructures, aka stormwater and so on like that. We all have experience on the town where you see those, I'm gonna call green dumpsters, red dumpsters, white dumpsters, any color dumpsters.
Sorry.
It's a Amber Alert
Yeah.
in the Columbia County, so we're far from us.
Let me turn mine off, sorry.
No, my phone is turned off. It still does.
It still goes through,
still
doesn't
goes
matter.
crazy
It-
buzzing.
Yeah, I thought
it's
this
part of the
was,
public unit.
Shut off. I
So
can see.
you have seen it, that sometimes those dumpsters are where? In the middle of the road. Where? In the middle of the parking lot. Where? In the middle, somewhere except for where they're supposed to be. In addition to that, you see garbage going all the way into the streets, flowing everywhere, especially in non-collection days. So what we're proposing through you and to the commission via you is that we create a dumpster enclosure. Those dumpster enclosures is going to have provisions in the town code, the code ordinances. So that way they are under a secure area, closed, and any consideration of garbage or refuse or whatever is behind closed doors, and they're only going to be open by the time the collection. That will not affect mobile home, single-family residence, or individual residents. Why? Because normally you bring your bin out and they're collected, and you put the bin back. We're talking about when you're talking about dumpsters. We're talking in dumpsters.
Aren't the code enforcement in charge of checking that dumpsters don't overflow and so forth?
Yeah,
I
that
know
is
there's
correct.
a surcharge. If a dumpster overflows, the waste management will charge an extra fee, which would encourage whoever owns that dumpster to make sure it doesn't overflow. But I understand why the city wants this, because it's an eyesore and it's also a sanitary issue. But what's the law saying when it comes to these dumpsters are on private land? I mean, can the city dictate in those situations?
Yes, the city can dictate on those situations, especially because of the good of the people and the good of the systems and the good of everything that we have, of course. And I'm not an attorney, so I cannot discuss anything about legal issues. That I'll defer that to the town attorney. But this has been vetted by the town attorney also. It's legal. It's also regulated by multiple municipalities, especially when you have a dumpster enclosure in commercial and multifamily locations. And this not only controls the overspill, this not only controls that somebody takes a garbage and dump garbage and put it outside or next to the dumpster when the dumpster is in the middle of the street.
Yeah, but the issue is what happens in real life is that people from the outside comes in and empty their trucks next to a dumpster and drive away. I mean,
Yeah.
this is an issue.
Can I say something?
Yes.
That's what he's trying to say, is that if we enclose it, they could put a lock on it, you know, or a code if it's in a private area where the residents would have the code. It's kind of a safety issue, I think, and also a beautification.
Yeah, and sanitary.
Sanitary.
issues, yeah.
That is correct. I'm going to refer you to go to, for example, I'm just giving you one of many. Southwest 30. You go over there. You
What?
go right now.
I know.
You go right now, and I'll encourage you that you're going to see at least 7 in the middle of the road.
I know.
So that's the first thing that you see when you drive on that street.
I've seen them flow down the street in flooding.
Exactly.
Like little ships.
So by doing this, that will be controlled. We will have it in a location. Obviously, there is a personal responsibility that the tenant and the owner must have to control vandalism or somebody who illegal disposal in there by locking or whatever. But in this particular area, if you have the dumpster in the middle of the street, there's
It's
no
an eyesore.
accountability.
It's an
still
eyesore.
an eyesore. Still, people is going to come and put it right next to it, and you're going to dump it not only in the dumpster, they're going to throw it on top of the dumpster, outside on the side of the dumpster. So that's the reason why we are inclined to have the dumpster enclosure to make sure that we control that situation. In addition to that, there will be a part, when we approve this, that are going to be, and this is the word that the town attorney always referred to me, amortization. You got it, whatever.
Moratorium?
Huh?
A moratorium?
It's amortization, a moratorium. It's amortization, the word that she used, that we plan to give the sometimes for all the businesses and everything affected by this will be in compliance. So it's not going to be right now. We're going to give them, hey, you're going to have XYZ time to get in compliance. I'm inclined for 6 months. You haven't been in compliance for 6 months. That way they have time to prepare and to do whatever they need to do.
And then code enforcement is going to follow up.
And after that, then code enforcement is going to follow up.
Well, I'm on for it.
Code enforcement is not going to go tomorrow after passing. It's going to be
Right.
after some time.
So just a question. You're just saying the dumpsters that's like on the side of the street, for example, right here on South Park Road, those,
Industrial.
yes. You're just saying for them that have the dumpsters on the side of the road, they would have to put it like inside?
Like, it could be in their property, in an enclosure, under a gate, so you don't have the dumpster right in the middle of the street.
And it's actually better for them too, because then they don't have other people putting trash in their dumpsters, because, you know, at night, who knows who drives by there. Some people don't have trash. They drive around town and throw their trash wherever they can.
So would they need to pull a permit to do this, or you're just giving them a certain amount of time to have this completed by?
Well, there's going to be a certain time for them to complete it by. Obviously, they're going to have to pull a permit associated with that. It's a combination of factors, and you're going to see that in the second part of the ordinances that you're going to see, because some questions arises because of what happened when they don't have a space and they have parking. We are reducing the parking dimensions, and that's going to be on the companion ordinance, just to give them opportunities for them to reduce the parking space and at the same time put the dumpster enclosure in their assigned location. Obviously, we have promised the commission and all of you that particular, we are also revising ordinances for a combination of factors to reduce the density of the parking spaces based on the modern era. We're not longer in certain areas, which I'm going to be explaining to you in the next one.
What if the dumpster is not visible from public road, but is in a private area? Can you still dictate, say, a park owner to have an enclosure if it's not a public eyesore? You can't see it from public roads.
No, they're still going to have to do it.
They still have to do it.
Yeah, they still have to do it. It's for safety reasons, and everybody's going to be treated with a reasonable equality for everybody.
So do we have, well, now we're going to open the floor for any comments.
Come on.
Okay. Now the floor has been closed for any public comments. On to item 7.3. I'm sorry. Do we have a motion to approve?
Yes, I approve. Second.
Do we have a second motion?
I'll second.
Motion approved.
Need a vote?
Okay, so who made the motion? Okay.
I made the
Ms.
motion.
Colon. Okay, so Ms. Colon made the motion, and it was seconded by Mr. Morset?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion made by Ms. Colon, seconded by Mr. Morset. Ms. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. McNeil?
Aye.
Ms. Colon?
Aye.
And Mr. Morset?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. 7.3.
Okay, 7.3, Miguel Nunez, building official, chair, vice chair, members. This is a proposed change to the parking space dimensions. Like I mentioned to you before, one is going to trickle the other, so that way we don't over affect anybody else. The Town Ordinance 28301, and this is the ordinance number 2022-015. It's an ordinance of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 28 zoning, Article 4, supplemental district regulation, Division 2 of street parking of Town Code by changing the distance requirements for off-street parking, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinances, superseding conflicting ordinances and resolutions, and providing an effective date. What this means, currently, our Code of Ordinances require that all our parking space are 10 by 20. That's the dimensions of our parking space everywhere, with the exception of the T1 district, which is the mobile home parks. That is required 9 by 18. So now we have a dilemma. Now we have two different regulations. Mobile home parks has 9 by 18. Condo units, commercial units are 10 by 20. Now we have another issue. Once we compare our ordinances with multiple municipalities, most of the municipalities are actually 9 by 18. We even have municipalities like Fort Lauderdale that are A6 by 18. Obviously, we don't want A6 by 18 because if you have a large truck, then you have a lot of things. That's what the mayor says in the meeting.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy.
It's not going to be happy. So when I said into that is, we were looking into that, plus in addition, reducing the parking space, so giving a space more for additional space for the dumpster enclosure ordinance. But in here, we decided, you know what? Why everybody is not at the same level? We maintain the mobile homes exactly the same way they are, and we provide relief to the condo owners, to the townhouse individuals that have parking spaces, and for our commercial buildings. And the best resolution by comparing with everybody was to go to the 9 by 18. One example, three examples that you have in there is the City of Coral Springs. Their standard parking stall is 9 by 18. City of Lauderdale, 9 by 18. City of Miramar, 9 by 18. I just mentioned to you for Lauderdale, 6 by 18. However, in addition to that, the off-street parking, that's a regular angle, 90 degrees, 45 degrees, and so on like that. Now you have what is called the parallel parking space. Our ordinance is tremendously big. However, we propose to that also to go back to 9 by 24. Why? Because it's a medium between all the other cities that I just outlined. Some of them are 26, some of them are 23, some of them are 24. So I believe a medium will be the best choice. And that basically would put equalizing us to most of the municipalities that we have in according to the current size and type of vehicles that we have. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Or, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I say I have no objections to it. Standardization is the way to go.
Okay. The floor is not open for any public comments. No public comments. The floor is now
Everybody's
closed
looking at you.
for any public. Oh, I'm sorry.
My name is Mariano Carner. As I said before, some of you were not, I'm buying property in the area, and I wanted to see how the planning and zoning dynamic work. I was helped by Miguel, who was very helpful, and hope to do lots of business together. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion to approve?
I motion to approve.
I second.
Motion approved.
Motion made by Ms. McNeil, second by Ms. Colon. Ms. McNeil,
Aye.
Ms. Colon,
Aye.
Mr. Morissette,
Aye.
Ms. Brown.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. 7.4.
7.4, Miguel Nunez, Building Official, Chair, Vice Chair, members. This is a proposed change to Chapter 28 zoning, amending Section 2836. It's an ordinance number 2022-016. It's an ordinance of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Section 28-36 of Chapter 28 zoning, Article 2, administration within the Town of Pembroke Park Code of Ordinances to further define the responsibility of the Town Planning and Zoning Board, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinances, superseding conflicting ordinances, resolutions, and providing an effective date. This basically is our town code of ordinances require that everything that goes to zoning right now comes to this board. Now, we have semantics in there. We have changes on zoning for words. We have changing for zoning for minor stuff that in the zoning code that we're going to be changing, that if we're going to be changing every single word, every time we're going to have to come to the planning and zoning board and then to the commission body, it's going to be, in my opinion, an unwarranted use of your precious time, especially when you're talking about small things that has nothing to do with the use, with the change of use, with the beautification of the building for the new site plan approvals, important things that you should be involved. So, and that's the reason why we created this ordinance, to allow those items that does not affect the planning part of the code of ordinances and the site plan approvals and the standard process, so we can go directly to the commission without having to have every 2 weeks and a special meeting with the planning and zoning
Give
board.
me an example, like
Parking spaces.
another example. Like if I'm just saying, like a land, like I don't
No,
know.
land uses and things is gonna come to us no matter what.
Okay.
No, that is not gonna change. For example, we have a
Right.
zoning that you might have, I'm just using, we just passed one, the parking spaces, 9 by 18.
So you're saying instead of coming it through that, just to go straight to the
To
commission?
the commission,
with-
yes.
And what about the painting
No, the painting,
and the colors?
no, that will be part of the plan, the planning
Oh, okay.
process.
I'm just confused.
But because we have a lot of painting applications that doesn't come to this board, because that's already there. But when you're talking about the planning process for buildings and so on like that, that is gonna come to you no matter what. That's part of what this body is for.
The reason why I'm asking is because the vice mayor and I were looking at the town hall, talking about colors and things of that nature. Would that come to the board?
That will come to the board.
Okay. 'Cause
Things
I
like that
wasn't
will come
sure.
to the board because now you're talking about a change of use and other changes that are specifically to the planning part, because not only those colors, for example, if we change the palette of the colors, for example, that will come through here. Why? Because that is part of the planning, because some buildings, we're gonna have to use those colors. And if those colors are not, you don't understand it the way it is, you may not approve it. And that's what we need.
I like what they did at Seneca, though.
I love
The
it.
new colors.
I love it.
Yeah, I do like that.
If I could just say something, Miguel, I think maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I think she's asking if every building, commercial building that changes color has to
No.
come before the
No,
planning.
no,
and
no,
zoning.
no,
that's
because
not
that's why
what
we
I'm
have a
saying.
color palette.
No. I was just asking him that the vice mayor and I were taking a drive around town and looking at the beautification, and then we were talking about the town that it hasn't been painted in a while, and we were talking about colors. But I didn't realize, I asked him if we would come here first or if we could just give the colors to Miguel, but we would have to come here first.
No.
No.
No, that's
No, because
not.
that's gonna be repainting. That's
Oh, okay.
repainting.
It's
That's
like a
not
new-
that's not
that's
a
just
function
for
of the planning and
something
zoning
new.
board. Now, if we're gonna change the color palette,
Okay.
That's a
See,
different
that's,
issue
that's
because
what
you're gonna have to say
okay,
something.
Because
Okay.
I
Okay,
see,
sorry.
that's what I was talking about. I thought
Yeah.
I understood what she was saying.
Okay.
Okay, but zoning and rezoning will definitely come to the board.
that will definitely gonna come to the board.
Okay,
That's not changed.
okay.
I was having fun with colors. It's just, I like that.
Variances and so on like that still come to you because it's part of the charter, and that's part of the process.
So if you change the color palette, would that come to the zoning, planning and zoning?
Yeah.
Let's get some pink and blue houses.
I would like to paint mine
Rainbow color?
red with white balls.
The red door, though, the feng
red
shui.
door.
Right. We have to have feng shui.
All right, so this action item is now open to the floor for any public comments. No public comments? Okay, now we're closed. Can we have a motion to approve?
Yeah, motion to approve.
I second.
Motion approved.
Was made by, motion was made by Mr. Morissette, seconded by Ms. Colon. Ms. Colon,
I
Mr. Morissette,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. McNeil.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. All right, the next items that we have are the two items that we need to discuss, and that is in regards to future meetings. We have the need to have a meeting in, hold on one second, I'm just gonna get my document here. Okay. We're looking to have the next meeting on December 6th. There seems to be a couple of agenda items that need to come before you. There's a rezoning and some other things going on. I really can't get into any of this because sometimes it's, some information cannot be provided beforehand. But I wanted to know your availability for December 6th.
is that
That's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
So we're changing days?
Well, that was the other thing I was going to ask you. Is it possible to change the dates that you normally meet from a Thursday to a Tuesday?
That's a no for me.
I remember that was an issue before
Yeah, I remember
last
that
year.
as well.
That's why we changed it to Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, because you go to school, right?
Yeah, I have school and other,
That's fine. That's fine. Okay, we'll go ahead and figure it out. December 1st is the Thursday, right? Okay,
yes.
so let's stay with our December 1st.
Okay.
And then we can go from there. Because I don't want to lose a member. It's hard enough to try to
Right.
get quorum, if I lose a member,
We
so.
love you.
So,
6 o'clock again?
yes, sir. Is everybody okay for December 1st?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. That's all that I had to have at the present time. You're more than welcome to motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
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 The time now is 6:43. Thank you.
Thank you all. Give me a second just to remove the video.